Welcome to Black Iron Forge, YouTubers. Long time no see. Had a lot of feedback on some of the knives I've been making and these handles. People are commenting and wondering how I make these handles. So I thought I'd bring you into the shop and show you what I've been doing. These are wrapped micarta handles that we're putting on here. And I've got some fabric cut out here, and I think they range anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches. They don't have to be exact, but I've got quite a few cut up there that we're going to wrap around this knife and start building this handle up. Just mixing some fiberglass resin right here, and you'll notice that this stuff isn't clear. It's kind of dark, but it does lighten up a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Once you get this handle all put together, and start grinding down on it, it tends to lighten up. So let's get that thing out of there. So you can see I've got my knife in the vise here, and I've got all the hardware put on here, and we're just going to start wrapping this up. Take these and dunk them in here individually. Get them pretty well soaked up with that resin. And then kind of strain off all the extra back in the bucket. This is a hugely messy process, so I suggest you do some prep work. Anything you don't want covered up, get some trash bags and cover it. Cover it with trash bags, because that really does help keep the mess down. And I try to wrap this really tight, and the reason I do that is because it helps push all the air out of the material. You don't want air pockets in there. That will cause you problems later on when you start finishing this handle and bringing it down to the finished size on the belt grinder. Also try to keep it relatively flat, because once you get this on a belt grinder and start grinding it down, you expose the layers of this fabric, and then you start seeing a grain. It looks almost like wood grain. It's really cool. We're going to try to edit this so that it's not quite so long, because it is a relatively timely process. Oh, I gotta straighten this out here. But if we can't get that edited out, that's technology we're not up to speed with generally. So you may end up getting the whole video, so you're just gonna have to fast forward through the boring stuff. Sorry. Okay, I'm not sorry. But anyway, you get an idea of what we're doing here. Been super busy here with work and everything else. Haven't had a chance to do too many videos. I apologize for that. Actually been making quite a few knives, but I haven't done any videos on that either. So kind of a timely process making the videos while you're doing the knives. It's a little distracting. But we'll get some videos done. So you can see the difference between the fabric before it goes in the resin and after. It tends to darken it up quite a bit. So if you have a specific color that you're trying to get, you might think about that. Of course, you can get clear resins too. That's not a problem. It's just I don't have access to that here locally. So we make do with what we got. Try to get this stuff up as close to that handguard as I can. That way when it dries, it's a nice tight fit and there's no play. Handguard's actually pretty well fitted, so there's no spaces and gaps in there. That's important. Absolutely hate it when I bump a knife and the thing buzzes because something's loose on there. That's not acceptable. That stuff drips all over everything, and I just let it drip on the floor because it's easy to come back and chip it up off the concrete. And it comes off nice and clean. Just got done rebuilding my forge this weekend, so it's going to be another video about that. Actually managed to do that relatively inexpensive. Forge I had before was pretty small. When I get into these bigger knives, they don't fit very well. So that'll be a future video you guys will be able to see. Sometimes that fabric will fold over a little bit, and it's not too big of a deal as long as you get it on there nice and tight. The main thing is just squeezing out that air. You want to get all those air bubbles out of there. That stuff will show up once you start grinding on it. The other thing I try to do is make sure I wrap it in the same direction. You don't want to change directions on your wrap. That way you're constantly pulling it tight in one direction. That's kind of important. This tends to go quite a bit faster as you get more girth on that handle. You'll notice that as time goes on. Can't grab it. Come on now. There we go. I always try to cut more of these than I need, because the last thing you want to do in the middle of this is stop and cut more material. It takes quite a bit to get these, and of course you have to build it up larger than the finished product, obviously, because you're going to grind this all down. You end up grinding quite a bit of it away, so you have to build it up pretty large and then grind it down to the finished product. Kind of goes without saying, I guess. A lot of folks have been commenting on the knives I've been making. If you go to my Instagram, Black Iron Forge, you can see some of the pictures of the knives that I've made. And again, I'm sorry I haven't made any videos of the construction of those knives, but I've been busy. What do we got going on here? Starting to sound like Portland around here. Not sure how many of those I got on there. What's going on here? I got all messed up. There we go. I actually want the base of this knife towards the back of the handle to be thicker because of the specific shape that I'm after when I get the finished product. So. Start building up the back of the knife here. That's about right on the resin. I think I'm going to have one more. One of the beauties of these types of handles is there's no pins. You don't have to make scales, no drilling. And I can temper the knife, or heat treat and temper the knife. And I don't have to worry about drilling any holes. Honestly, it makes for a stronger, and these handles are strong. I mean, they are bulletproof. We got the last one, I think. It should be big enough. I think that ought to do it. All right, well that's it. Now we basically just got to let this cure, and I'll let it cure overnight. And tomorrow after work, I'll come in here and start shaping that handle, give you another view. Thanks for stopping by.